Week 10 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few tight ends. I have his sleeper options this week. The first guy, Foster Moreau, Las Vegas Raiders. So right now, Darren Waller, it's finally confirmed he's going to be out another 4 weeks with his injury. And we really haven't seen Waller anyway since week 4 and week 5. So the last few games here for Moreau filling in for Waller. He hasn't done much. I'm not going to deny that. Week 7 versus Houston, 3 catches, 28 yards. Week 8 at the Saints in that one, 6 catches, 31 yards on 9 targets. And week 9 at Jacksonville, 2 catches, 42 yards, and a fumble loss. So right here, week 10, a pretty decent matchup versus the Indianapolis Colts. I give up the 13th most fantasy points to tight ends on the season. And now we'll Hunter Renfrow out as well. That's more targets to go around over here in Vegas. And with a good matchup and a guy who you know is going to start now for sure with Waller out another few weeks, he's available in 96% of fantasy leagues, and he's a sleeper option this week. The next guy is Juwan Johnson of the New Orleans Saints. So Juwan Johnson, he's been playing some decent football over the last few weeks. Him and Andy Dalton have a decent rapport. Last 2 out of 3 weeks, he's had some games. Week 7 at Arizona, 5 catches, 32 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Week 8 versus Vegas, only 2 catches, 14 yards. And then last week on a fluky touchdown where he toe-tapped the line and Marcus Peters didn't push him out or try to get him. 2 catches, 42 yards and a touchdown. So Juwan Johnson, they need playmakers over there in New Orleans. Michael Thomas out for the season. Jarvis Landry still hasn't come back, but he might return this week. And Juwan Johnson, he's a big target at least in the red zone. And like I said, he's got 3 touchdowns as well in the last 3 ball games. So right now in the deepest of leagues, I would use him. And he's available right now still in 89% of fantasy leagues. And the third and final tight end I have as a sleeper this week, Noah Fant of the Seattle Seahawks. And Noah Fant, he hasn't really done much this season with his new team. Right now available in 87% of fantasy leagues. In the last few games here for him, week 7 at the Chargers, a catch for 7 yards. Week 8 versus the Giants, 2 catches, 19 yards. Week 9 at Arizona, 5 catches, 96 yards, which was a big game. So right here, week 10 versus Tampa Bay in Germany, they do give up the 9th most fantasy points to tight ends on the season. And maybe it just took time for him to Geno Smith to have a good rapport and get chemistry. And sometimes it takes 7 or 8 games for these guys to really find it and get it going. So right now, if you're in a pinch at the tight end position that we know has been hit or miss, and the most part missed this season, you can use Noah Fant as a sleeper this week. So that's a few tight ends I have as sleepers here for week 10 of the fantasy football season.